Right there.
Okay, so right side of zipped, gone into right side of garment.
Ow.
For whatever reason, I tend to just start on right side of things. I don't know what's right as opposed to left. However, the benefit of always starting on the same side is you always know where you're up to. Okay, over to the machine. I mean, in this case, there's a right and a left, so there's not a whole lot of choice. But in general, like if you're ironing, right? If you start at the right side of the shirt, and you just go around until you get to the left, and then you're all done. It's psycho, so you start in the middle. Like, my cousin's boyfriend went to iron his shirt and put it down in the middle of the back in the middle of the machine. I'm like, in the middle of the ironing board. I'm like, what? What are you doing? Like, how? How is that supposed to be straight by the end of this? Hello. This is my foot. It's like a normal zipper foot, except smaller. A lot smaller. Okay, let's try and... Yeah, I'm not this. I know what I want it to be like, and reality is not amazing. They're actually getting what I want. Tell you what you want, what you really, really want. Tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Somebody else to do my filming for me. Alrighty, my zip's around here somewhere. Here's my zip. No! First of all, we are doing a basting stitch. So, as long as it can go. Because then if you stuff it up, it's easy to undo it. And more often than not, there's something that gets stuffed. Okay, so you don't have to be too exact. You just, as in like where, I mean, be exact in your stitching, gosh. So a straight line at least. But you don't have to have it exactly where you're trying to get it into the teeth. You're just putting it on there. Now, as a quick note, if this was one layer and it was something that was inclined to fray, first of all, I would want to overlock it. But if for whatever reason I couldn't overlock it, what you do is you fold this bit here underneath. So it's effectively, great lighting. Anyway. The fraying is folded underneath the zip, okay? And then...
This thing's broken.
Oh no, you're pulling apart your whole thing. Yeah, Jane, if you unconnect wires, of course it's going to be broken. So if you have it flipped under, there's no fraying, even though there's only one layer. And you don't do it so far that it goes all the way through. It's a little, it ends up being similar to a French seam, that it's enclosed.
Stuff is cracked.
Okay, I'm just going to take that one out. And then, you know, be like every other video and not show you what happens to the zipper full. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore it and just not go all the way to the end.
Got it.
Yay. Okay. Gosh, this frays so much. Yeah.
Lots of these things are cracked. So this is cracked.
I have to take the sides in of this too, right? Now, an invisible zip you would do at the end, which I'm still going to do, but I'm getting quite nervous with how much fraying is going on. So I'm going to at least do some of it. Blackout. Oh, it's joined that way. Interesting. Tell me what you really want. can't tell you what I really, really want. It's not child friendly. Okay, so in the middle of this invisible zip tutorial, I'm going to do a French seam. So this is chiffon, and French seams are really pretty. It's way better than, like, if you were to try and overlock this, it looks terrible, and it's really obvious, and it's bulky, and it's all the things wrong. So you line up your ends. Now, technically, if you wanted to be exact, you would undo the hem, tiny bit of the hem, do your French, then re-hem. Because technically you're supposed to hem after you seam. But I cannot be bothered with that. Nobody will care. You just want to make sure that whatever method and seam allowances you use, you just cut that allowance. I like to really jam up the first few things, and one of these days I'll figure how to not do that. You know, when I'm real seamstress and real YouTuber and all. I like to have enough that it's not going to fall over the edge. Alright, so I suppose... I don't even know what that is. But I'm sewing on this side of my invisible foot, and with a just over the 1/4 inch thingy, which is, I don't know, whatever, a bit more than 1/4 inches. Okay, that's started. Now, to make sure I'm not pulling, find some ends. End. Oh yeah, right, because it's wrong sides together. That's what got me confused. It is wrong sides together. I've done it right. I just confused myself where I'd be finding the top of it. Okay, for examples, we're going to put a pin in here. Let's put another pin in here. I like to do them sideways because honestly they're just easier to take out. Line up the top here. Sweet, that's all pretty well lined up. So I want to go near the zip just to protect the rest of these frayed edges. Okay, so that's the zip. This is where I'm going to go to. Okay, so there's still enough to play with, but I'll fix that up later. So basically you need to do a French up till the very end. Figure that out later. Right, let's go with sewing this. This has come out. Now this is why if you're going to actually stop, you should actually put your needle down. That would be smart. But, you know, I usually remember that afterwards. So if you've cut them together, there's slight, slight notch. Makes it easier to line up. Can I move this because it's kind of annoying to sew with that right in front of me. And it's coming out of it. So chiffon is nice and shifty and likes to move. It's great fun, which is why I give it a slight more seam allowance so that if it goes silly, you have something to work with.
And I can make something out of it. I know exactly what to make out of it. So the bits that is completely broken is these ones. So we don't need that. Stick these. No, these will fit. Let's go. Music.
Look at all of these bits coming out. It's so sad. Just the more it's handled, the more it...
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to leave it there. Okay, now we're trying to adjust this camera. New angle. Falling over angle. Okay, so now we have black, beautiful. Lots of fraying, but this I'm gonna chop away the seam allowance. 1 for the fraying, 2 because I actually want a smaller French hem than this, and this way. Maybe turn it back this way. Nah. So, not really sure how to tilt it down. It's not tilting down enough. Now it's falling over. Fantastic. That's why it was the other way. Okay, there we go. Chopping the seam allowance because of fraying and... Oh man, I've been sewing on a 4. I want to be sewing on a 2.5. That's okay. We're doing a French and it matters more about the next seam that we're doing anyway, I think. Yeah, it does. That's where the tension is. This will be fine. So I cut it to be about 4
inches.
I'd like to say 1/8 of an inch. About that. So then when you sew it the other way with a 1/4 inch, it is beautifully enclosed and you don't have any fraying edges sticking out. Unlike the lining that was done by somebody else. I mean, it's hilarious because I'm making this video mostly for her. Hi, Jenny. Yeah, stop laughing.
Mama, Jericho's recording me and Jericho. We're like making something for YouTube. No, it's like making something for
YouTube. So he's using his tablet. Has he asked?
Well, can we do...
You can do your list, read a story, do some math flashcards and some music practice. It's not hard. There's a thread. We got a beautiful little tiny offcuts of mostly just whole bunches of threads. Now we turn it the other way. And also while we're here, double check that I'm doing it the right way. So this turned, so then this should be right side. With nothing completely twisted. Yay, winning. Now, starting this side off, I seem to be able to get away with this, which is be helpful if you could see my machine a bit more, I suppose. Sort of good enough for now. Okay, so start a bit further from the edge, and then you can actually kind of backtack and stuff through there. So it's slightly more than what your French is, but it's okay. Now, so I've cut less than a 1/4 inch, so I know as long as I keep it to a 1/4 inch and not less, it will be fine. And if I go more, it'll just start to look messy. Oh look, now you just get to see my arms of what I'm doing. This is bloody fantastic. Don't know why I saw that. That was stupid. But anyway. Do. It's hot. Kind of over this, but she kind of needs it today, so I should probably keep going. not too much more to actually do.
Baba, I'm putting this in bed.
Cool, now you've pulled it apart so it doesn't work. And my bobbins run out. Wasn't too far at least. And also I'm back to a 2.5 length now, so that's actually gonna work. And I could pause at this point, couldn't I? Okay, here's a bobbin I prepared earlier, like a few seconds ago. One note with chiffon is if it starts to snag, it's your needle. Replace your needle. Exciting stuff, hey? We're nearly at the end. Now you don't want to go all the way to the end because we have to continue doing that one for the French. And if you go all the way, you won't be able to get all the way in. Which if I remember to keep videoing, I'll be able to show you later. So, if you can see that, I've sewn to there, but only French to there. Because now, right, when you have to keep going to the zip, there's enough space to actually get it in. Whereas if you go to here, then you're trying to get this bit. And it just, yeah. So we have here to work with. And then all of this will get trimmed in a bit. Okay, back to the zip. Zippy, zippy, zip. Now, again, we know it's not going to get twisted because it's pinned, right? You can do whatever you like to it now. It's not going anywhere. Okay, there's one bit. Here's the other bit. All right, now left side of dress. Pin is in there as before. Now this one, purely because I like going top to bottom, going to do the zip over. Sometimes there are tension issues and for whatever reason I cannot get them to line up at all, and then I'll make them the same. That's about it. Okay, now that we have a holding pin there, so we still know we're not going to be flipping this around twice or anything, you can pull this one out, line up the plastic topper with the very, very edge. Now you have to kind of move this because it's too far, but okay, slightly too high. There we go. Plastic topper, very, very top. Grab the other side. And just check that okay, plastic toppers, top of that, okay? Actually, it's the tiniest bit. I want this one slightly higher. Technically, I want the other one slightly lower, but I've already sewn the other one, so I'm not going to do that. It's 2 mil difference. Okay, good. It's not COVID. Now I want a pen. Guys, what are you doing? Gonna go find a pencil. It's probably next to my bed. Okay, I found my pencil. this one, it is amazing. It is water soluble clover. They're about $9 each, but totally worth it. This is the part that I always struggle with, is getting everything in line. I don't know, Jericho. So there's a line. There's a seam. And then you zip it up. If anyone has a better way to do this, feel free to tell me. What's up, buddy?
If I go in the gallery, it won't work. Then if I go on the camera, it won't work. Is that recording?
It is recording. Yeah.
Was this going to go on YouTube?
Yeah, it is.
Of me talking?
Dunno yet.
You're going to delete me talking?
Dunno.
Can you?
Maybe. Hey, person who edits this video, can you delete Jericho talking?
No.
Well, I'm going to get Jason to edit it for me and then put it on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to zip this up. I mean, yeah, that was super useful, wasn't it, Rachel? Drawing that on the inside. Not useful. Not really. Actually, no, yes it was, because I want to... who cares? I'm going to do both sides. Okay, so that's in line. And that's in line. No! Right, yeah. Now, maybe you could do my videoing for me. I keep forgetting to look at the camera, so I don't know what it's actually looking at. Can that see me now? Sort of. Okay, and there's the line there. And then this bit... No, it's not really lining up with anything. Oh, this is great. Okay, so line this up. I'm going to line up the bottom. Can you see me now? Awesome. Oh, this is much more helpful. Undo my zip. Okay, so now you want to make sure that these bits are in all the right bits. Sorry, need to squeeze over my cameraman here to get a few pins. Yep, there's a pin. And then I basically just want them in the points where the lines are so that I can adjust any tension in between. Well, that didn't last long. End of the zip lined up with the last line. Alright, now let's sew it in. Ooh, we've even got zoom happening with this cameraman. Again, we just want it on a 4. We're just sticking it in and making sure it got in okay. That's probably a bit close. I mean, it looks cool, but no one's really going to see. No, zoom it out. No, then they'll see how messy my table is. Just kind of pull the zip and the fabric to keep that tension what you want it to be to line up these bits. not like pull enough that it'll feed differently, just pull enough that it's going to sit. So it's not even really pulling, it's just holding it exactly where you want it instead of just letting the under feed dogs do its thing. Okay, next one is there. Come to the zipper pull. Ooh, this one might go all the way through. Okay. Okay. This one, the puller is somehow not in the way, so I'm just gonna go to the end. Rubbish bin man. Zoom out, do. No, this is making a terrible video now. How's you gonna watch? Who's gonna watch that? Gonna make
me.
You'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Oh man, I snagged the very end of this bottom bit of chiffon under the zip. Yeah, cool. Maybe if I do up the zip. Yeah, no, it's all good. It was just stuck in the zip. Okay, do up the zip. And look at that. They match up. And the top matches up. It's tiny, tiny. Bit too high for my liking, but not enough to rip it out and start again. So that's beautiful. Now,
Beautiful.
thanks. Am I beautiful too?